The cameras flashed, the
Yeah.
crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood and, well, the political world had a new obsession.
He really did. It was instant.
Because Don Jr. is getting married. And his dad said he, quote, might try to make it.
Which is just, I mean, such a loaded statement.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today, you and I are doing a deep dive into a story that sits right at this completely bizarre intersection of pop culture, high society drama, and like literal global geopolitics.
It is a wild mix.
We are talking about a highly anticipated event on a private island in the Bahamas.
Right.
A tightly restricted guest list of under 50 people. Like no sweeping red carpets anywhere.
No grand ballrooms either. It is locked down tighter than a state secret.
It sounds exactly like a Bond villain's retreat, honestly. But it is actually Donald Trump Jr.'s upcoming Memorial Day weekend wedding to Bettina Anderson.
And the contrast between what people expected and what is actually happening is just fascinating.
Totally. And to figure out the mechanics behind all this, we are pulling from a huge stack of sources today.
We've got political reporting from Newsweek, international critiques from The Guardian,
plus entertainment details from Tyla and First Post, and even some biographical backgrounders to really paint the picture here.
Because if you've been following the headlines at all, you probably assumed this wedding was going to be a massive, unavoidable spectacle.
Right. Like, according to Newsweek, the original whispers were about a grand White House celebration.
Which would have been huge.
Or maybe this massive autumn blowout party. But they scrapped all of that.
They completely pivoted.
Yeah, to this incredibly small, highly secure gathering in the Bahamas from May 23rd to the 25th, 2026.
And that shift is really important to understand. Moving from a potential White House wedding, which is effectively a state occasion, wrapped in protocol, to a sub-50-person island gathering isn't just a venue change.
No, not at all.
It is a fundamental rewiring of their public messaging.
But wait, let me stop you there, because the lead up to this hasn't been quiet at all.
Oh, definitely not.
Like, the actual wedding might be in a bunker, but the bridal shower certainly wasn't.
Not even a little bit.
Our sources highlight that the bride, Bettina Anderson, just had this lavish, enchanted, garden-themed shower at Mar-a-Lago.
And everybody was there?
Exactly. Ivanka was there, Tiffany was there, Lara Trump was there. It was highly visible and heavily documented on Instagram.
Right, for her 143,000 followers.
Yeah. So how do you reconcile this highly visible, opulent lead-up with a total retreat into the shadows for the actual I do?
Well, you reconcile it by looking at the distinct social functions of the two events.
Okay, what do you mean?
So the bridal shower serves that traditional high society requirement. It honors the bride, and crucially, it provides the public with the expected photographic evidence of family unity.
Oh, I see.
By performing the highly visible aspect of the marriage ritual in Palm Beach, they effectively release the pressure valve.
That makes a lot of sense.
It frees them up to make the actual wedding completely airtight without people asking where the family photos are.
Okay, yeah, that is a smart strategy. Let's talk about Bettina Anderson for a second, though.
We have to.
Because you have to put yourself in her shoes. You are marrying into this massive, polarizing political dynasty.
It is a lot to take on.
She is 39, a Palm Beach socialite, a former model, and she's deeply involved in environmental charity work, particularly with Paradise.ngo.
And she has a very established background. She studied art history at Columbia. Her father was a prominent banker.
Right. And she gave this emotional speech at that Mar-a-Lago shower. The quote that the press immediately grabbed onto was, quote, "I would marry you regardless of what your last name is or what family you come from, because I think you're the most incredible man I've ever met."
And honestly, that statement is doing a massive amount of strategic heavy lifting.
You think so?
Absolutely. It is a preemptive defense. She knows exactly how the public and the press is judging her right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
By explicitly addressing the elephant in the room, which is the Trump name, she is actively trying to neutralize the narrative that this is just social climbing or a marriage of convenience.
I hear that. But I am looking at this 50-person guest list on a private island, and Bettina isn't just booking a VIP room, she's building a fortress.
She really is.
So I have to ask, is this scaled-down wedding genuinely about security and keeping things intimate, or is this a calculated rebranding effort for Don Jr.? Like, is he just trying desperately to signal stability after years of chaotic, highly publicized relationship.
It is almost certainly a mix of both. I mean, on a sheer logistical level, the security required to host the sitting president at a massive domestic venue turns any party into a fortress anyway.
That is very true.
But from a branding perspective, you are spot on. A 50-person island wedding projects a narrative of maturity.
It says we're past the drama.
Exactly. It signals a desire to step away from the circus. For a family whose entire brand is built on dominating the news cycle, choosing silence is a very loud, very deliberate statement.
And that desire for a bunker-like wedding makes perfect sense when you realize what she's trying to keep out.
The past.
Namely, the sheer volume of tabloid drama trailing Don Jr.'s past.
Yeah,
And wait until you hear about the exes, because that is where the story goes completely off the rails.
it really does.
But before we get into that, if you are loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you are subscribed.
Yeah, we have got even crazier stories ahead in this deep dive.
We really do. So if we want to understand the extreme privacy of this Bahamas event, we have to look at the chaotic, almost reality TV universe that is his romantic history.
You cannot understand the Bahamas bunker without understanding the sheer noise of the preceding years.
So let's unpack that noise. Don Jr.'s first marriage to Vanessa Trump lasted from 2005 to 2018.
Right. And they share 5 children,
Yeah, including 19-year-old Kai.
who is everywhere right now,
She really is. She recently stepped into the public eye as a massive golf influencer.
which introduces a whole new generational dynamic of brand management for the family.
Totally. But the reality surrounding Vanessa right now is it's incredibly heavy, and the media ecosystem around it is just relentless.
It is.
She recently announced a breast cancer diagnosis.
Which is devastating news for anyone to navigate.
Truly. And while she is navigating that profound health crisis, she is currently dating golfing legend Tiger Woods.
And that creates a staggering juxtaposition for the family's PR apparatus to manage.
Exactly. Because Tiger just recently returned from rehab in Switzerland
Yeah.
following a DUI crash in Florida where he reportedly refused a urine test.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You have the quiet, devastating struggle of a serious health diagnosis colliding head-on with the loud, messy tabloid machinery of a celebrity DUI.
It is a complete media nightmare.
It really is.
It is a collision of very real, painful human experiences with the relentless churn of celebrity news.
Right.
When you have that level of volatility constantly orbiting your family, the appeal of a highly controlled, tightly restricted island wedding becomes a matter of self-preservation.
You are trying to minimize the surface area for the press to attack.
Exactly. You just want to close the doors.
And if that wasn't enough whiplash, consider the Kimberly Guilfoyle era.
Oh, the career arc there is mind-blowing.
He ends a highly publicized 4-year engagement to Kimberly in late 2024.
Right.
And within months, he is engaged to Bettina, someone whose entire brand is quiet, Palm Beach exclusivity.
The total opposite.
But Kimberly's trajectory in the aftermath of that split, it is just wild.
The velocity of her career pivot tells you everything you need to know about how interwoven modern media, politics, and personal relationships have become.
She goes from being a San Francisco prosecutor to a Fox News host to a massive fundraiser for the Trump campaign.
And let's not forget, sources like Politico reported some serious internal turmoil and HR issues in her fundraising division during that time.
It was loud, it was messy.
Very messy.
And now she is the sworn-in U.S. ambassador to Greece,
Which is incredible.
confirmed by the Senate in September 2025 and currently living in Athens.
The mechanics of that pivot are just extraordinary. But look at what it does socially and geographically.
What do you mean?
Well, her appointment as an ambassador removes her entirely from the immediate domestic political fray.
Right.
And more importantly for this event, it removes her from the social circles preparing for this wedding.
Yeah.
She is literally a continent away.
I mean, I am looking at this entire board of moving pieces. You have the Tiger Woods tabloid drama on one side,
Yep.
an ex-fiancé who is now a literal European ambassador on the other,
Yeah.
a tragic health diagnosis in the middle. With all of this intense background noise, I have to wonder about Bettina.
How she fits into it all.
Right. Does her entry into this family seem naive? Or does it signal that she is highly calculated, knows exactly the rules of the game, and is completely ready for the storm?
If you look closely at Bettina's background, the answer leans heavily toward calculated.
You think she knows what she's doing?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
She grew up in elite Palm Beach circles.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't an artist stepping into the spotlight for the first time.
Yeah.
The Palm Beach ecosystem is its own distinct universe of wealth, power, and discretion.
So she knows how to operate.
She understands the machinery perfectly.
Yeah.
The fact that she is choosing a highly private, controlled environment for the wedding suggests a deep level of sophistication.
Okay, I see that.
It implies she understands the risks of the chaotic universe surrounding the family, and she is actively attempting to write a different kind of script for her own narrative.
She is establishing boundaries early on.
Exactly.
Establishing boundaries with this family is a monumental undertaking, though.
Oh, for sure.
But while the exes and the surrounding drama provide plenty of context, the absolute biggest, most looming question mark hovering over this private Bahamas island is still coming up.
The ultimate wild card.
Because what happens when the father of the groom is the president and there's a global crisis?
It's so complicated.
We are going to dig into that unprecedented RSVP dilemma right after this. Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
Because the geopolitical excuse here is fascinating.
It really is. So let's break down Donald Trump Sr.'s highly publicized comments regarding his attendance, because this is where the geopolitical shield comes in.
Right.
He was asked in the Oval Office if he was going to the wedding. His direct quote was, quote, "He'd like me to go, but it's going to be just a small little private affair, and I'm going to try and make it."
And then he added the kicker.
Yeah. I said, this is not good timing for me. I have a thing called Iran and other things.
A thing called Iran.
Just casual.
It is a classic rhetorical minimization.
Yeah.
He is reducing a complex multinational geopolitical conflict to the level of a mere scheduling conflict.
Like a dentist appointment.
Exactly. But beneath that phrasing, the underlying reality is undeniable.
Yeah.
A global crisis demands presidential attention, and the press knows it.
But the media calculation here is so incredibly tricky, and he actually spelled out his own dilemma out loud during that same interview.
They laid it all out.
He said, quote, "That's one I can't win on. If I do attend, I get killed. If I don't attend, I get killed by the fake news."
He is articulating the ultimate double bind of the modern presidency.
He really is.
If he goes to the Bahamas, the immediate narrative is that he's abandoning his post during a global crisis to attend a luxury island party.
Right.
He appears entirely out of touch while the country deals with the fallout.
And the sources back that up. The Guardian specifically pointed out that millions of Americans are currently feeling the pain of rising gas and food costs.
Yeah.
Partying in the Bahamas while citing Iran as an issue is a terrible look.
It is a profound vulnerability for any politician.
What if he doesn't go?
The narrative instantly shifts to family dysfunction. The press will suggest a deep rift between father and son.
Or imply that the geopolitical crisis is so overwhelmingly dire that the president cannot spare a single weekend for his eldest son's wedding.
Exactly. In the court of public opinion, he is boxed in.
But we have to look at this impartially from a media mechanics standpoint, because the press is already poking holes in his excuse.
Oh, they definitely are.
The Guardian noted that despite this Iran scheduling conflict, the president has still found time to attend UFC events in Miami and play rounds of golf at Doral.
Which brings us to the crucial difference in logistics.
Okay, tell me about that.
There is a vast difference between a controlled domestic outing, like a golf game in Florida, and an international excursion to a foreign nation.
Even one as geographically close as the Bahamas.
Exactly.
Let's talk about those logistics, because you can't just invite the president to a 50-person garden party.
No, you really can't.
That's like inviting a hurricane and hoping it only waters the flowers.
That is the perfect analogy.
Because the footprint of the presidency is massive. You have the Secret Service.
Advanced teams scouting the island weeks in advance.
Secure communications tents that have to be erected on the beach.
Motorcades flown in.
Maritime security patrolling the waters. It would entirely obliterate the intimate, bunker-like vibe Bettina and Don Jr. are trying to build.
A private, intimate affair ceases to exist the exact moment Air Force One touches down nearby. The physical and atmospheric reality of any space is fundamentally altered by the security apparatus of the state.
So here's where I want to push back a little bit.
Okay.
Because I have a hard time believing a sitting president is coordinating his geopolitical press statements just to help his son keep a wedding guest list small.
Right.
Isn't it more likely he just genuinely can't go because of the optics, rather than this being some strategic, unspoken gift to his son?
Well, it doesn't have to be a coordinated conspiracy to be an opportunistic strategy.
How so?
In families operating at this extreme level of public visibility, communication frequently happens through the press as much as it does in private.
That's true.
By publicly lamenting the bad timing and the impossibility of the optics, the president is providing what amounts to top cover for his son.
So he's taking the heat.
Exactly. He is absorbing the media critique about his potential absence, which organically gives Don Jr. and Bettina the perfect logistical excuse.
To proceed with the small, secure wedding they actually want.
Entirely free from the nightmare of a presidential visit.
Wow.
He doesn't have to formally uninvite his father. The geopolitical situation and the media optics do it for him.
That is wild. You are essentially playing three-dimensional chess with your own family RSVP list using the national media as the board.
When your family dynamics intersect with global geopolitics, three-dimensional chess is often the only way the game can be played.
Okay, we need to bring this all together for everyone listening because this deep dive has covered so much ground.
It really has.
What looks like a standard celebrity wedding announcement on the surface, just a quick headline about Don Jr. getting married again, is actually this incredibly complex case study.
Yeah.
It's a perfect storm where high society PR strategies, intense global geopolitical conflicts, and a wildly dramatic family history all collide on one tiny island in the Bahamas.
It perfectly encapsulates how the personal is intensely political when you are part of a dynasty.
Spot on.
Every single choice, from the venue to the guest list to the bride's public statements at the shower, is heavily scrutinized and carries immense symbolic weight.
Which leaves you with a final thought to mull over.
Yeah.
When you are the child of a historically significant, highly polarizing figure, your family name dictates the global news cycle.
Unavoidably.
We've seen it with the exes, we've seen it with the kids stepping into the spotlight. In that reality, is a truly private life ever actually possible?
The great question.
Or is fleeing to a 50-person island getaway surrounded by private security and international waters just another form of public messaging?
Is the act of hiding just another way of being seen?
Exactly. And honestly, it makes you wonder, if you have to buy out an entire island and surround it with maritime security just to have a quiet dinner, are you really free from the media?
Right.
Or does that extreme wealth and security just build a very luxurious prison?
Oh, wow. That is a fascinating way to look at it.
It's definitely something to think about as the paparazzi inevitably try to get their telephoto shots from boats offshore this weekend.
They absolutely will.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in.
And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.